8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
God, how good's that video? Thank you, Jez in the Lux. He didn't know that we were going to play that again. Before we go into this subject, I'm going to give him detention. Robert, you absolute tease. It's not 250 quid. Honestly. Oh, you had us all there. George has just about come off the floor. So look, blame Robert for that, everybody. He was the one. He was the one. But look, we just played that video, and I think the one thing that comes through in that video is actually you can tell who's over that hair all the way, couldn't you, Carolina? I mean, it's just...
Yeah, definitely.
It's Sophia Hilton, who has, for me, been the absolute queen of social media of recent times. I mean, for an independent salon, she's not a massive chain. Yeah, she has been hot on brand, and it just seems to me everybody has been following her lead a bit in branding. So, George, you put this question out there really about branding, didn't you? You were, how important is it to you as a salon, bringing people through the door?
Yeah, I mean, until I went over to London, really, I didn't actually really, I'll be honest, I didn't really realise the importance of brand. In fact, I didn't really know what brand I was until I really started thinking about it. And then obviously you all know, lockdown came and I was Twisted Scissors for quite a while, and I'd gone for a walk one day and I couldn't think about it. And I did a huge rebrand because I just wanted to be inclusive of everybody, and I really started to, I've been understanding branding for the past 12 months, but I think you've really got to sit down and think about it, look at your location, look what you're about, and I've got 44 different salons in my town. It's a small town. What's going to differentiate me from other salons? And that's where branding comes in, and I think that's where it becomes really important.
Yeah, well, how far are you with your branding, Carolina? If I said to you, what is your brand? If you could say it in 2 words, what would it be?
We defined our brand because where we are, there's completely different branding for I suppose for myself as a hairdresser. I branded myself singly for my work. So I have my own aesthetic for my work. And then we have our salon aesthetic as well.
Yeah, okay.
So because we're in a small market town in Highworth, and everything's very more rural, and our salon, especially now when we've changed the interior, we've gone for more natural, eco-friendly, more wood, all that. So that's all kind of ties into our area as well.
Yeah.
When I started the salon, it was very different. So I think with our branding, we have changed. In 7 years, we have changed. So at the moment, I have a brand new team. So I'm working on the way they produce their color, like photographic work, for example, for the salon. So it's all about training them to see what you see. Yeah. And then we bring in the brand, our aesthetic into it. I love all my own aesthetic is always in a kind of more of a 70s, 80s punk pop subculture. I absolutely love that. But when you look at my salon, the actual interior doesn't say that.
Yeah.
It's not It's not a punk salon. It's actually very natural, which brings my Scandinavian roots into it.
Oh, you little Scandi punk. I love it.
Yeah,
Bit of a Scandi
Scandi
punk.
punk.
There's a new
But
band
it's
for
the
the
same
future.
as well, isn't it? Because you don't want to, like when people come to my house, for example, because I'm crazy in what I wear and what I do, people automatically think there'll be teapots hanging from my ceiling, and my house is very minimalistic. Do you know what I mean? And it's very much with the salon as well, because
Yeah.
very much when I opened Twisted Scissors, it was all about bright hair, so a lot of alternative people came. But in actual fact, we were very good at all manner of colour. So we were very good at natural, bleach, balayage. So I really wanted to create a salon that was inclusive of everybody, similar to what you've done, Carolina. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't want to pigeonhole yourself
George,
too
I mean,
much, do you?
I'm going to jump in here because you've done a mighty brand change. I mean, you went from Twisted Scissors to Society by Georgia Bell. What was that, and what's that done for your business?
Do you know what? It's really opened it up. Actually, it's. I wouldn't say it's made it busier. We're still just really steady. We've got a lot of people coming through the doors, but I think people don't feel. Like I said, we put out a lot of bright colour, a lot of crazy colour, and in actual fact, if I'm honest, 4 years ago, the work that I was putting out that I thought was really good, when I look back now, was pretty shit. And it's all about retraining your eye. So in actual fact, now we've retrained our eye and we've got our roots and we've got our brand. People are coming for natural hair, for highlights, for balayage, for bleach work, for bright hair. And I just felt like calling it Society was being inclusive of everyone around me. And it was just a little bit more grown up, and it was just the vibe that I wanted to go for, really.
I always think as a business, and I'm going to pick up some of your comments, there's some great stuff coming in, or as always, you never let us down, everybody. Every one of you should know what your brand is, all right? So put it in a comment here. Let us know what your brand is. So, George, bright colours, whatever that may be. Are you about cutting? I know we've got Noel here. He's all about workshop quality hair. I know so many of you for your brand. I know we've got Becky here. I know Becky for her nice, vibrant, vivid colours. We've got Cherie here. I know Cherie because what's Cherie well known for, Carolina? Do you know? Bridal, you see. There we go. Who we got else? We got, see, I'm going to try and pick you up on all your brands here. Transformations. We've got Simon Townley there. Simon, footballer's hair, yeah? Yeah, so it is really important. But I feel like that pressure when you see Sophia Hilton, the brand that she has created, how is she inspiring us in terms of what she's doing, George? Because I know you're a big fan of Sophia, or is she inspiring us?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Absolutely. I think it's just about looking at who you are and deciding who you are and pushing forward. Like little things, like my education, my hairbrushes from Denman, like creating that. And then from having those hairbrushes by Denman, I've now got these tote bags that are coming with my branding on, and I'm going to sell them. And it's all these other little outlays within your business that you can actually, we were talking about this earlier, weren't we, Carolina? You can actually utilise your business and make maximum profit if you're a little bit clever with your noggin and you start branding yourself, you know what I mean?
But branding has never been so important, Carolina, has it? With social media, has that branding, are you very consistent with your branding on social media?
I try to be, but sometimes it can be. To be quite honest, I think social media. When you're doing your social media, it can be easily lost there as well. So you have to carefully think what you're going to put in every day. So are you going to? Is it going to be part of your brand, or is it going to sway away from it? It's so easy to take your team's photo and put it out there and just then go, oh shoot, actually that wasn't really quite our branding. I liked it, but it didn't actually go with our ethos. So it's kind of finding that right balance. But then also I'm really big at the moment. I'm really big at promoting each individual team member as what they want to be at. So bring them as their own. So for example, one of my girls, she said, like, I really want to get into a bit more vivid colors. So that's what we are branding her with, more specific areas, rather than just, okay, we are as a salon, we are a color salon. No, we have individuals in our salon. They are employed by us, but they want to do something great.
I'm going to jump in there, Carolina, and because you've got us on that point, and that's really important, isn't it? And I think we brought this up before, but it needs touching upon again. You are both salon owners, right?
Yep.
Would the hairdressers in your team, are they entitled to create their own brand within your space, George? And are they within their own rights to post what they feel is reflective of them? So, for example, I work at Rush. Rush is very precision haircuts, yeah? But actually, I want to do bright, choppy. Are they right? Would Rush be right to say, look, no, anything you're posting on Instagram has to kind of be in keep with our brand?
Listen, if you're employed, then yeah, I believe a brand has got every right to say to you that it's got to be in keeping. Mine are self-employed, so in actual fact, they can post whatever they like. But I'm very fortunate that I've got a very close-knit team that, in actual fact, they've seen the success of my personal Instagram, and they will come to me and they will ask for help. And they won't post up anything that they don't like or I don't like. But I could never be in a position, because they're self-employed, and say, hang on, you can't post that. If you're an employer, however, yes, you can, because that's your brand. So I can understand both. I can understand both points there.
Yeah. Are you with that as well, Carolina?
I am to a certain level, and I was very much, probably some time ago, I was a lot more picky with everything that the girls were putting on their pages. I have this theory now that if they like their photo and they are happy and they're really proud of it, by all means, they can put that on their page, but it doesn't mean that I will be advertising it on our page. You can't sort of kill their moment if they feel that's great work that they want to promote. But what I do is that I go through everything with my team. We look at all the photos together and we pick the ones that we think it looks, that looks good, or yeah, that doesn't. And we quickly just scan them through and go, okay, I think those ones are the great ones.
Cool.
You should use that. And they're really good at listening as well.
Yeah, well,
that
that's always good.
That is all to do with retraining your eye, isn't it? Like I was saying earlier, because actually 4 years ago, the pictures that I thought were banging, Jesus Christ, I look at them now and I think, oh my God. And it's all about...
But your brand has changed, George, because let's be honest, and you're very open, when you were very unicorn colours and there were... But you've stripped that back, haven't you? And it's never too late to pivot with your brand and, sit down and really... Because sometimes I feel that we're so keen to get our work seen, but you post the wrong looks and it can be really damaging on your salon, George.
Yeah, and that's also part and parcel to know not to know what your brand is, and you just think that that's really cool, and you don't really know the message that you're putting out. And so for me now, a lot of less is more for me, but that's only because Sophia helped me to retrain my eye, and that's only what good training and good education does.
Yeah,
and not only from Sophia, from a lot of people in the industry. I've trained with a lot of people now.
When also with the hair awards, and I'm going to just pick up some of the comments that everybody's putting in here because I'm really keen to bring some of those in. But actually, sometimes with the British Hairdressing Awards, are people keeping to their brand and their signature look when entering awards, or are they kind of thinking, well, actually, I'm going to go with these looks because that's kind of what does well in the awards, Carolina?
I think there's a bit of both. It depends who you are. You can tell the person who goes with their own aesthetic, and then you know the people who you can see from the photo that they've gone, oh yeah, that was the winner last year, so I want to go with that kind of style. And I think personally, just go with your own style, do your own thing, because you will be way more proud of your work if it's something that you have created rather than try to look what happened last year.
Yeah, don't look.
Can I just say though, I think when you get into the industry, you'll feel an insane amount of pressure to impress your peers, and therefore you start to lose yourself because you're trying to retrain yourself, you're trying to get better. And actually, if I'd have just gone for a BHA 4 years ago, I'd have done what Georgia Bell loved, because she don't know no different. But now I'm very... almost treading on eggshells, actually, frightened of other people's judgment. And that's something I will admit, and something that's played on my mind a lot, that oh, what if people hate it? You know, and really you should be doing whatever you do because you love it,
Yeah.
and it's your collection.
Well, I
But it's
always
just
say
hard.
that with guests in the How to Cut It podcast, I'm really keen to always know their signature style. It's about like an artist, isn't it? A music artist. They all have their particular signature style, and I think as hairdressers you do need that, and it's got to be consistent with your brand and